Dawid, Malan, unlucky the rain wins out. You're probably pretty pleased with the match performance by Middlesex.
Yeah, obviously disappointing. I think we've had a lot of weather the last 2 weeks, so it's obviously disappointing not to get this full game in. But yeah, look, we from our last game against Sussex, which we didn't, or the 2 games ago, which we didn't play very well. We sat down, we discussed the basic things that we want to do, which is to score hundreds, take fifers, and do that consistently as a team. And then to come into this game, which is the first full game we've had, and to have 2 guys score decent hundreds and play to that blue plan or whatever you want to call it, that game plan if you want to call it, blueprint. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks. Got myself muddled there, but play to that blueprint of what we wanted to do, and it set the game up for us nicely.
Yeah. And that first innings, 400 on the board, there was a lot of hard work to help those Centurions on the way, which is something Middlesex talks about a lot, the digging. Yourself and Sam Robson, you've got the partnership going, you've got 20. It's time as well, though. It's not just the weight of runs, it's that time in the middle that the top 4 in particular are able to put together, which helped Sterling as well when he came in to go on and get the century.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think it's always tough if you're 10, 20 for 2. It's always tough to sort of set up a big score unless someone goes and scores a big 150. So to be able to do that in partnerships, to be able to get to a stage where the ball was old and we'd put a lot of overs into their legs, you earn the right to score runs, and I think we earned the right here to do that.
Both good centuries as well, weren't they? A word for them. I mean, obviously talking about the digging before, but then it has to be executed, and you look to who puts their hand up, and they both did it.
Yeah, and to be fair, it wasn't easy. There was always something in this wicket. With the divots that were formed, there always seemed to be a player miss, and when we were bowling, we always felt that we were in the game. So for those 2 guys to knuckle down and to play the way that, especially Sterlo, put his natural game away for a bit and played a really responsible innings, and the same word to Sam Robson. It's been a tough year and a half for opening batsmen in the country, so to finally get through a tough period and get himself in and score a well-deserved 100 was fantastic to see.
Word for Stephen Finn as well, the fifer, good for the skipper as well to have a rhythmical Stephen Finn running in like that, because it looked good from him.
It is. You can talk about all the runs you want in the world with the bat, but ultimately you need 20 poles to win a game, and we haven't looked like taking 20 poles this year, which is probably the disappointing thing. So to see Finney come back from a long layoff and being injured and to bowl well and to take a fifer was fantastic for us as a club. We've got Toby who's going to work on a few things this week as well. So when we have all these guys back firing and bowling well, I think we'll be in good stead.
It's not a victory, but it is a good performance though, isn't it? And after Sussex, I'm sure that's what you really wanted to see from everyone.
Yeah, we did really well against Worcester, so that was the same blueprint that we had was against Worcester. We scored big runs and we bowled the team out twice. Didn't come off against Sussex, and then it paid off here. So 2 out of the last 3 completed games that we've had, or sort of completed games that we've had, we've done what we wanted to do and set the standards that we should be playing to. Now it's just keeping that consistency throughout the season so that we can actually keep playing the way we should be playing.
That's what I was going to say. Next thing for the captain to look for is that everybody does the same again on day 1 at Derby.
Well, that's the thing. The tosses and things have become a bit of a lottery as well around the country. You don't really know what you're doing anymore with wickets, and it looks like it's done quite a bit at Derby as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the game goes. But look, consistency in professional sport is key, whether that's from an individual or from a team point of view. The key thing that we haven't done over the last probably 2 or 3 years that we haven't been consistent enough, which is why we find ourselves in the position that we're in. So hopefully I'm not going to say from Derby, but hopefully we're starting to find the rhythm that we need to play. The guys are starting to listen to the things that Stewie wants implemented, and hopefully we can move forward from there and move in a positive direction.